Hey team, by now you've been playing around with the couch stretch hopefully a little bit. If you haven't seen the couch stretch video, that was the previous one last week. Go back and check that out if you're not sure what the couch stretch is. And you've been playing around with stacking the couch stretch into your TV viewing habits. I'm super inspired by Atomic Habits right now, James Clear's work. Highly recommend that book. It's super popular for a reason. Worth checking out for sure. And it's this idea of little tiny bits of habit formation every day. And so the couch stretch is your starting point for getting just a little bit of movement into your life when you're stressed out, burnt out, dealing with pain. And that's where you can stay if that feels appropriate, if that feels about what you can do. Just try to stack that habit of, you've got a TV watching habit, just add one more habit to that. So when I watch TV, I'll do this. And I've got another kind of mini workout for you today, and a suggestion to habit stack this. So add this to a habit you already do. You watch TV. When the credits come on, so maybe if you're watching Netflix, you're going to turn off the autoplay in the settings. I know that might be a bit techie, but if you know how to do that, turn off the autoplay where it just starts the next episode so that you can watch the credits. And you're just going to do this during the credits, so less than 2 minutes. And your next sort of mini wow is to get off the couch and just get on the floor for 2 minutes. Stack that habit to the end of an episode. When an episode ends, I will get on the floor for 2 minutes, or as the duration of the credits. And once you're on the floor, you're going to do windshield wipers. This is just one of my favorite stretches to do, just to reset the body. So you just come down to the floor, bend the knees and separate your feet really wide. So you're wider than your yoga mat if you are on a yoga mat, but you don't need to be. Wider, maybe even wider than shoulder width. Play around with the width. And then you bring the heels in a little bit closer towards your seat. And you open up the chest. You bring the arms out to a T. And maybe you take the arms up higher into a Y position, but if this gives you pins and needles, that kind of nerve stretchy feeling, you want to stay away from that. So you come back down a little bit if that's what feels more comfortable. But the goal is to stay open, to kind of give yourself some stretching here in the opposite position from our normal day-to-day. And then, like windshield wipers, you drop your knees to the left. You're going to feel that stretching. In this case, it's my right hip. And then over to the right. And you can just come into that stretch and then away from it. For bonus points, you can start to engage the core by drawing the belly in a little bit. I talk about this in the Safe Start course on my website if you're not familiar with this idea of drawing in a little bit, or if the idea of activating the core is a little bit abstract for you, head over to my website and just sign up for that Safe Start course. It's free and will give you just really concrete ways to find the core and understand what that cue means of the brace your core, activate your core, all these things that we kind of hear in classes a lot, but maybe haven't been fleshed out. Good, so this is it, 2 minutes of this. Slowly back and forth. If it feels really good, you can just kind of pause for a couple breaths and try to see how that feels to breathe into the belly with a little bit of core activation. Another way to feel your core too is just try to drop your ribs a little bit. So if my knees are to the left, I feel my left rib cage more on the floor. See if you can roll the ribs down to the floor a little bit more. You might notice that you get a bigger stretch out of that. So you might actually need to back away a little bit. But it's good to start practicing engaging the core with these types of movements and just generally practicing engaging rather than getting really turned off and flopping into stuff sometimes. Both strategies are valid, but it's good to know when and where and have those options. Good, so that's your mini workout. You're gonna stack that to the credits of the shows you're watching. Maybe just once a day. Maybe you do the couch stretch and then go to the floor. If you feel good after the couch stretch and you're like interested in a little bit more, try that out. Thanks so much, everybody. Let me know how it goes. Talk to you soon.